Yeah, this is a reboot of RWBY, done in an anime style instead of its usual webtoony kind of style. If you want like images of how RWBY usually looks, just feel free to Google it. Before we get into the trailer as well, guys, we got 3 announcements of RWBY. So we got Ice Queendom, which is just released. We've got a volume 9 of RWBY, which is releasing next year. And when I say volume, when RWBY says volume, it means season. So this is season 9 of RWBY. I'm trying to internally withhold all my screeches.
Yeah, I know. Star mentioned something about that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So, yeah, I can see what you said there, Star. So I agree. Like RWBY's style and animation is so different usually, and to start off with, it's really shitty. You know, the episodes start off at like 6 to 9 minutes long, and then they owned that style. You know, that style became theirs. People learned to love that style. Their episodes counts became longer. They made money, 16 minutes to 24-minute episodes, depending on like the content in the episode, and they're not afraid to like make a shorter episode once a week or once a fortnight or a month, however often they release. If it means they're not adding in filler content. And yeah, you're looking at this is real anime style now. You know, you could even tell on the chess pieces. You remember the chess pieces from the original RWBY? They were just flat, and you could tell that, like it's their style. It's their style, and they owned it. But this is like proper anime style now. What's weird is to hear the Japanese voices. I don't think I can watch this in subbed because I have always watched RWBY in dubbed. RWBY came out in dubbed, so it's one of those rare occasions where the Japanese has come second. Yeah, graphically though it's brilliant, and the reason I am watching it though is because it's coming from Weiss's point of view instead of Ruby's this time. We're focusing more on Weiss and her backstory. One of the major things, like without giving too much of a spoiler away, which you should go and watch, like the first episode actually encompasses the first 3 episodes into one. They made like an omnibus for their first episode, an hour long, and at the start you actually see how they get into Haven. All 4 characters, not just Ruby. You see Yang's journey, Weiss's journey, and Blake's journey, and it's honestly so good. You learn how Weiss gets her scar sooner, and you know the added content is brilliant. It is throwing me off a bit, the animation, but the animation is absolutely amazing. And apparently, when we get to a certain point, the story's then going to veer off in the main series, so it becomes its own like side story and tells us a bit more about of what Weiss was doing at a certain point in time. That I'm not going to say because it'll spoil the other anime, the main series. But I love the recap and like how it's taken. This is so good, honestly, so good. If you haven't watched RWBY, guys, because you've been put up for the animation, don't be. Story and humor is amazing. Yeah, that's RWBY, guys.
That's the thing about anime is sometimes we wish to have the same story retold but from a different perspective, and like what brought them to that point in the anime that you watch. We do not always get these.